Hello, welcome to Ever Chosen Minis. Today I'm going to show you how to make an easy and good looking orc base for your games of 40k. Alright, let's start by gathering everything together we're going to need for this project. We're going to want your base, of course, some good orc bits from kits of your choice that you should have laying around. Normally orc kits come with a ton of extra bits, so it's perfect to just put them into the bases, give them a little extra spice. Next, you'll need a little bit thicker cork. We're going to use that for the road. And then what I have here is just some small pebbles and rock that we're going to use. You can use any kind of earth blend that you have laying around. They have them pre-mixed, or you can go ahead and oven dry just what you have outside, put it into a little jar, and then just bake out that bacteria, and that'll be good to go. Last thing you're going to want is some texture paste that you can spread over the cork for the road, and then we can get started. Next, we're going to go ahead and tackle assembly. We're going to go ahead and start by gluing down our cork onto the base. And then I've also at this time chosen to put down my little knob banner, make a little sign. Then once that super glue's dried up, we can start go ahead and covering everything in Mod Podge. And then once we're done covering the exposed bits in Mod Podge, you're going to dump it inside of your gravel mixture. I'm just using a mix of several different things from the dollar store. It's really cheap to make, or you can just use some dirt from outside. Just make sure to bake it and sanitize it before using it for your base. And then we're going to lock everything in with some more watered down glues. Just going to get between all the grains, really lock it in. And then if you get a little bit of spillage, you can just clean it up so that it dries well. And then after that, we're going to want to go ahead and just cover the top of the cork in a little texture paste. That's just going to give it that kind of gravelly look on top that a normal road would have. And then this is the fun part. You can kind of just start adding your bits wherever, kind of compose the piece how you would like. And this is where it's all going to start coming together. Make sure you give this plenty of time to dry and then prime to your desired base color. We're going to go ahead and use black for ours. We're going to go and finish the base and get this thing painted up. We're going to go ahead and start with a khaki color onto the ground. We're just going to use this to get kind of a sandy base going here. Mine's watered down a little bit. You might want to water yours as well if you're going to use a really gravelly texture. You're going to let it get in between everything. It will leave the tops typically a little bit darker than the original color you'd like. Once we highlight everything later, it's really going to fix that problem. So just kind of trust the process on that one. Next, we're just going to tackle the road. We're going to want that as a dark gray, and then we'll dry brush that later to finish it off. Now here, it kind of just depends on what base bits you used and maybe what color orcs you chose. I used Goth, so the black and white is what I went with here. If you use skulls like I did, you'll just pick that out. I just do like a tan and then cover it up with a ivory. And then you can also enhance this ground texture a little bit with a wash like what I'm doing here. And you want to give that plenty of time to dry. So once you're kind of done getting all of your basing bits set up, you're just going to go in and dry brush a lighter version of whatever color you chose. For me, it's going to be like a lighter bone color onto the ground. And we're also going to be using a little bit of white mixed into our original gray so that we can highlight the asphalt here. Now, the most important part that's going to make this look like a deserty orc base that kind of sends it over the top is pigment powder. Now, I use pigment powders by Vallejo. I think they work really well. You don't need to put anything over the pigment powder. It will just stay. Just make sure to tap off any excess. You can turn the base upside down, give it a tap, and that'll kind of finalize it. Once you just get that a little bit of time to dry, you do the pigment powder. I added just a few yellow lines going down the middle to make it look more like a road. And then you'll just base rim that black, and you are all set and good to go. Yeah, I have one last optional step here. I'm using a dead grass stuff here. This one's like a brownish green. Pure brown would work. They have a lot of different colors of this stuff. So just pick your favorite, and you can use that to give the base a little bit more height and dimensionality, a little bit different texture as well. It's going to make the whole thing just take it from a 10 to an 11. That brings us to the end of the video. Really appreciate you guys for sticking around to the end. I really enjoy making this stuff for you. If this helped you in any way or inspired you to go and start basing an army, then I'm glad I could help. If the orc kind of road Mad Max vibe base doesn't quite get you, we're going to make a series of these with all different types of bases. So feel free to like, subscribe if you just enjoy the format, and we will be showing you more and more bases that you can pick from. Hopefully this helped, and I hope you'll have a great rest of the day. Thanks so much for watching.